First thing we want to do is we want to determine left and right spindles. And the way you're going to do that is if you take a close look at the spindle itself, you'll see that on the left spindle, there's a groove on the spindle itself. Another way you can tell is by looking closely at the threads of the spindle, you'll see that they point up and to the left. On the right spindle, you'll notice it's flat and smooth on the spindle ledge, and also the spindle threads point up and to the right. We'll go ahead and get ready to install this one onto the right-hand side. Check with the manufacturer and see if they use pedal washers or not. If they do, install that first. Go ahead and apply a little bit of grease to the pedal threads so we get the proper torque. And then a little rule of thumb that we like to use here at Crankbrothers is an over the top and towards the front technique as far as the wrench turning direction. Once you have that started, just go ahead and take that until it makes contact with the crank arm. And we're going to tighten that firmly to 34 Newton meters. Go ahead and repeat the process on the other side. Again, grease the spindles. And again, we're going to turn over the top and towards the front. Snug to 34 Newton meters. And you're ready to run. Then we can simply install the 2mm traction pad to remove that play. In order to do that, you're going to need some simple tools. You'll be using a 6mm hex, an 8mm hex, 8mm socket, small slotted screwdriver, and a tire lever. In order to remove the traction pads, we're going to rotate the wing assembly until it's facing straight up so we can use the upper bar for leverage. Taking the small slotted screwdriver, you're going to fit it into the back of the traction pad, and there's a little cavity here on the body where you can just take your screwdriver and press sharply against the traction pad until you have a little gap. Once you have a gap there, you can use your tire lever now and the wing assembly to push the traction pad off the pedal for easy removal. And that will be the same for all sides. Once all the traction pads are removed, we'll go ahead and install the thicker 2mm version. Now that we've replaced all the traction pads on both pedals, now we're going to need to reassemble. So we're going to put the spindle back into the pedal body. We're going to take our 8mm nut and screw it back onto the spindle and use our 8mm hex to snug that down. We're going to tighten that to 4 Newton meters. Now we'll take our 6mm hex with our end cap, reinstall that into the pedal, and tighten that to 8 Newton meters.